This episode of Into the Music is brought to you by Coda Music. It's a great way to discover new music and listen to all of your favorite artists for free. The link is in the description. In today's episode we're going to explore Sia. During the course of her career, Sia Furler has been an in-demand guest vocalist, a quirky singer/songwriter, a hitmaker for the likes of Celine Dion and Beyoncé, and more popular than ever as an artist in her own right in the 2010s. On albums such as 2001's Healing is Difficult and 2004's Color the Small One, which featured one of her definitive songs, Breathe Me, Sia established herself as a singer and songwriter with a distinctively vulnerable voice. As time went on, she expanded her range to include the livelier fare of 2010's We Are Born and 2014's 1000 Forms of Fear, which included the Grammy-nominated single Chandelier. During this time, she also became an in-demand pop songwriter, with Rihanna's 2013 single Diamonds among the biggest hits she wrote for others. Sia's success continued as the 2010s unfolded. 2016's Cheap Thrills became her first single to top the Billboard 100 chart. Although raised in Australia, Furler rose to fame after moving to the UK, where she worked as a guest vocalist for several groups, including the electronica duo 07, and released her own solo albums. Born in 1975, she first performed on the Adelaide jazz circuit during the 90s as a vocalist for the band Crisp. An attempt to launch a solo career in 1997 didn't pan out, though, and she eventually hopped on a plane to London. While there, she landed a gig as a backup singer for Jamiroquai and inked a solo contract with Dance Pool, a sub-label of Sony. Sia released her first single, Taken for Granted, in early 2000. Although the song only peaked at number 100 on the Australian charts, it rose to number 10 in the UK and increased European demand for her debut album, Healing is Difficult, which followed in 2001. At the same time, a string of big names in the British music scene began asking for Sia's services, offers from 07 and William Orbit ensued. Although some projects only called for Sia to sing on one song, her association with 07 proved to be a recurring event. She ultimately remained with 07 for 3 albums, serving as the group's go-to vocalist while also furthering her own career with solo releases like Color the Small One and Some People Have Real Problems. Meanwhile, Sia also began building an audience in America. One of the songs from Color the Small One, Breathe Me, gained attention when it was used in the elaborate final scene of the 6 Feet Under series, and the resulting buzz allowed her to enjoy a successful stateside tour. That tour was documented on her first live release, Lady Croissant, in 2007. By the following year, Sia's American audience had increased to the point that Some People Have Real Problems, her third album, debuted at number 26. 07 began working on another album in 2009, but Sia had already shifted most of her attention to furthering her own career, and the band hired another singer in her place. Working alongside bassist Sam Dixon, she boosted her songwriting cred by writing several songs for Christina Aguilera, who put the songs on her 2010 release, Bionic. Sia also continued writing songs for herself, and We Are Born marked her most upbeat album to date in 2010. It also went on to become very successful, charting around the world and going to number 2 in Australia. But Sia, whose shy and withdrawn personality was at odds with her public persona, began to struggle with the pressures of fame. She spent the next few years out of the spotlight, continuing her parallel career as a backroom songwriter for the likes of Madonna, Britney Spears, Beyoncé, Celine Dion, and Rihanna, for whom she wrote the worldwide #1 smash hit Diamonds. In 2013, she started on a new album, working once again with producer Greg Kurstin. Wary of another breakdown, she eventually negotiated a near unprecedented contract with RCA stipulating that she would not have to tour or do press. Her first public appearance to promote the album on the Ellen DeGeneres show saw her perform her new single, Chandelier, with her back to the audience. The album, entitled 1000 Forms of Fear, arrived in July 2014. It promptly hit #1 in several countries, including the US and Australia. Furler and Kurstin also reworked existing music and wrote 3 new songs for the 2014 adaptation of the Broadway musical Annie. One of their new compositions, Opportunity, was nominated at the 72nd Golden Globe Awards for Best Original Song. At the 77th Annual Grammy Awards, Chandelier scored nominations for Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Pop Solo Performance, and Best Music Video. Empowered by the acclaim earned by 1000 Forms of Fear, Sia began work on its follow-up in early 2015. Late that year, the singles Alive, which Furler co-wrote with Adele, and Bird Set Free heralded the January 2016 release of This Is Acting, a pop-oriented set of previously unrecorded songs she wrote for artists such as Katy Perry, Rihanna, and Adele. In July, Cheap Thrills, the second official single, originally intended for Rihanna, became Sia's first Billboard 100 chart topper. In 2017, Sia released several non-album tracks, including the Zayn duet Dusk Till Dawn and the Stargate and Pink collaboration Waterfall. Later that year, she and Kirsten reunited for Every Day Is Christmas, a set of original holiday songs including the single Santa's Coming for Us. The album was released on Sia's Monkey Puzzle imprint that November. In 2018, Sia teamed up with Labyrinth and Diplo under the moniker LSD and issued the single Thunderclouds, and also contributed the song Helium to the soundtrack for 50 Shades Darker. The LSD project continued to expand with additional singles Genius, Audio, and No New Friends, with a full-length effort landing in April 2019. The Island Kiss psychedelic dance pop of Labyrinth, Sia and Diplo present LSD included all previously released singles, as well as a remix with Lil Wayne. In January 2020, she contributed the song original to the Doolittle soundtrack.